I want to tell you guys about this story. So, have you ever heard of Steven Donziger? Found out about him the other day. You heard about him?
No, tell me.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is
the Donzinger. Yeah, remember you told me yesterday. You're like, you want to tell me on the show? Let's do it on the show.
Okay, dude.
Let's get the rip on the show, dude.
This is the guy.
He looks like a psycho.
Hold on, I gotta even turn my light.
Is he the lawyer? Hold
on.
For Chevron.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know a little bit about this story?
Yeah. This is great, dude.
Okay.
This is a Jimmy Dore. I got this through a Jimmy Dore.
Okay.
See, he does protect. He does call out.
Relax with Steven Jimmy Dore, okay? You can suck him off later, okay? Just right now, Steven Donziger time.
Suck him off. He's right.
Okay. Steven Donziger.
Let's see it. Let's get it.
Where's my music, dude? Get my music right. I need everything to be.
This guy is a.
We need a producer on this show, dude. I can't be doing all this. Like, I'm behind the scenes doing everything. Guys,
you really are, dude. Hey, this is exhausting for him. I know. Sorry, man.
Okay, so Steven Donziger.
I just get to show up. Yeah.
It's true.
It is great. I do just get to show up. I feel bad for you. Sorry, dude.
Steven Donziger is a former journalist. He started out as a journalist, and I'm still learning about the story because I deep dived it the other night.
Wow.
But he was a journalist who later became a professor. He went to law school, and he actually played like basketball with Obama at Harvard. He was going to law school to be a lawyer.
Yeah, no, this guy's legit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's like smart, sharp guy. That's the start of it. And so he's at this law school, and he's like, "What am I going to do with my life?" He decides, I'm going to be a human rights lawyer. And sometime after he got out, he goes down to Ecuador and discovers that Chevron has been doing like this really illegal work where every time you're pumping oil, Amish, sludge gets generated that you need to cart off somewhere, okay? Now, this sludge is supposed to be taken somewhere else, but in this case, Chevron had a little bit of a plan. Their plan was that rather than clean this sludge up, they would rather just kind of leave it there and just put a tube to kind of slowly siphon it off into the jungle. And by doing this, they could save $3 a barrel. Okay? So they're going to save $3 a barrel by basically sort of screwing everything. So they decide to do that. And Steven Donziger finds out about this. And he's sort of like, not on my watch, baby.
He's righteous. He's righteous, dude.
Oh. So he goes, not on my watch. He sues them in New York.
Good.
They say, no. You can't sue us in New York. We want you to sue us in Ecuador. Okay. Well, they fight about that. All right. I'm going to sue you in Ecuador. So they win. Chevron wants to be sued in Ecuador. This man spends 25 years of his life suing these people. Over 2 decades suing them.
He's broke now, isn't he?
For this. He goes, this is such a travesty. I must sue these people.
He's like Aaron Brockovich.
Look at this. So, get this. He wins, Amish. He wins. $10 billion settlement. Unheard of. $10 billion.
Wait, he won? He was broke, though. He was saying on Jimmy
Dore
that he was like
he's
broke.
No money. He doesn't win it. It's like the victims. Right?
Oh, no. He doesn't get anything?
He's their lawyer. So $10 billion, this guy wins the settlement. So now it's time for Chevron to pay up. Only Chevron, who wanted to be sued in Ecuador, doesn't want to pay Ecuador. So they flee the country.
Chevron
flees the country and packs up all their oil stuff and then doesn't clean it up, but just packs up their rigs and they leave. They say, Amish, you try to chase us down, we'll fight you till hell freezes over. And even after hell freezes over, we'll fight you on ice. This is unjust. This is unrighteous. They say Steven Donziger, he bribed people. And we have a guy that'll prove it. So now what? So, okay, you've got a guy to prove it. Who is it? Well, it's a guy from Ecuador that is on Chevron's payroll. They pay him $1 million to come to America. It's like $10,000 or $20,000 a month to then testify that Stephen Donziger, this human rights lawyer, it basically bribed an Ecuadorian judge. He says that, and they get some kind of judgment, like against Donziger. The guy later admits he was lying about the whole thing. Their star witness. Then Chevron decides they're going to spend their whole life trying to ruin Stephen Donziger. There's like reports like, we've got to ruin this guy. We've got to make him uncredible. We've got to ruin him. So I think up to date, they've spent something like $2 billion trying to ruin him. When the settlement was only $10 billion. There's $2 billion trying to, okay. Like thousands of lawyers. Right?
That's...
Meanwhile,
so
they
dumb.
even create their own propaganda websites against this guy. Okay, this is the craziest story. They create something called the Amazon Post, which is, you got to see this.
Dude,
I gotta show you
fighting
this.
costs 10 times more money. It always costs too much money. That's why I don't believe in too much military. It's like, what are we fighting about? You're an adult. Like, that's what lawyers do.
Look at this. This is one of the videos like they put out against Donziger.
Facts do not exist. Facts are created.
Fraud. Bribery.
This is one of their propaganda videos.
A secret offshore company.
This was produced by Chevron to try to discredit this.
We have concluded that we need to do more politically to control the court, to pressure the court. We believe they make decisions based on who they fear the most, not based on what the laws should dictate.
This is the story of what has been called the legal fraud of the century. In 1964, Texaco Petroleum began drilling for oil in Ecuador and later partnered with the state-owned company, Petroecuador. Almost 30 years later, Texaco ceased its production there, leaving Petroecuador.
Okay, this is not important. The point is they end up they go through this whole thing, and they decide, okay, they're going to continue to go after Donziger. They have these propaganda things. They got thousands of lawyers, all to go after this guy, this one lawyer who's been a thorn in their side.
25 years.
So they find a favorable judge to big corporate, like corporate guys, and they tell Donziger, this guy Kaplan, Judge Kaplan, tells Donziger, hand over your laptop and all your files to Chevron. It's their property. He goes, I'm not going to hand over my files. That's unheard of. The guy goes, you're in contempt of court. He goes, can this be a jury trial? No. It's going to be a judge trial. You're in contempt of court. So he tells the New York prosecutor, you're in contempt of court. Prosecute this guy. The prosecutor says he won't do it, which is never heard of. Like the prosecutor refuses to do the order.
Because Chevron has the money.
So Chevron hires a private prosecutor to place this guy under house arrest, even though he has not been convicted of a crime.
Who's this private prosecutor? This is in America?
A judge, a law firm with ties to Chevron. The private prosecutor is a law firm with ties to Chevron. And listen, this man has now been under house arrest for 600 days. No crime has been committed. He's still waiting on his trial. It's set for September. It is.
Dude,
this is the fraud. Speaking of the fraud of the century. So when I saw this, I go, dude, this is my next video. Or it's my next big video that I'm going to do. But it's like, because this story's so freaking massive.
So good.
And I'm like, dude.
Yeah, he was on Jimmy Dore. He was on. So
okay, Jimmy Dore, right.
Hey, you got to watch it, man. It's good stuff. But he was on it, and but what, how many cover-ups? We are living in, has there ever been so many cover-ups? Like, to me, this is what I mean by cover-up, too. Like, it's like someone with money, big corporation, they're just paying off whoever.
Yes, but here's what I'm saying, Amish.
Yeah.
I felt when I saw this story, I was like, oh my gosh. Why isn't everyone talking about this story on the left? Like, they're always talking about, like, speak truth to power. I'm going to speak truth to power. They're going after, like, college professors and, like, trying to get them fired. Why don't you go after Chevron? Like, if you're looking for your big bad guy to go, like, attack, the reason they don't go after Chevron is because they know they can't win. But that's actually who you need to fight, is the people who you're afraid you can't beat. It's like
Who's getting
this guy
canceled
spent
right now?
25
Yeah.
years of his life fighting Chevron, and he still lost. Even after he won a $10 billion suit, he's under house
Nobody
arrest for it.
cares.
And
Nobody
where are the lefties defending this man? There are a few, but by and large, it's crickets. New York Times, nothing. Crickets.
They're all good boys. They've all been bought by the Republicans. I mean, they have no
100%, dude.
power. They're all like where they're not talking about workers' rights. They're not talking about military. They're not talking about prison. Like nothing. They
Sick.
do lip service stuff that doesn't really matter. That they do like lip service stuff that's like doesn't cost any money basically. But Chevron, who knew that Chevron had this kind of power? That in America, you can pay a private
they own
prosecutor.
the courts, baby. They own them because Nobel laureates came out. Like 40 Nobel laureates signed a paper, like the Peace Prize or something. They go, this guy's innocent. This is a human rights violation against lawyers, against free speech, against everything. Nothing.
Yeah, it's so fucked
The
up.
judge just has him by the balls.
How could you
and
not
there's
love Jimmy
nothing
Dore?
he can do. He's still under. Stop with Jimmy Dore. He's
How can you
still
not love him? He
under.
covered it.
He's still under this guy Chevron's fat, oily thumb, and I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
And I'll do my
Yeah.
part. But like, I'm shocked. I'm like, dude, why is Taylor Lorenz sitting on Clubhouse for 3 hours trying to catch Mark Andreessen saying the R slur?
Yeah,
like this
look,
is
man,
not.
you
This is
can-
not the
you
problem.
can
The
blame
problem
the
is
left
actual
all
like
day.
human rights violations.
But you are talking about in America too, though, dude. An oil company in America, we can blame the left all day. We can say the left did this and the left did that. But an oil company in America, I mean, this whole thing is paid for with taxpayer money. They get $1 billion a year in subsidies. What the hell is this shit? These guys are way too powerful because the American government just props them up too. I mean, you know, you can blame like yeah, for sure the lefty should be saying something, but they're also just funded and in the pockets of all the Republican, like, you know, they're the ones actually giving them the
I'm
power, I
simply
think.
saying that I'm sick of. Let's not even. I don't want to make it political. Let's not even say lefties. I'm saying
It is political,
No,
though.
it's a
It's-
journalist thing. It's a journalist thing. Where are the journalists speaking out against this? There's a couple, but for the most part, there's not many. Chris Hedges spoke out against it.
Yeah.
Your boy. That's who Amish thinks is a 10 out of 10 on the righteousness scale.
Him, Gabor Maté too.
When I read his piece on Chevron, I said I agree. It is
100%.
great.
Chris Hedges is so tight, and he does speak truly truth to power. None of this fucking social justice bullshit. But I don't know. I think it is a political issue. I mean, there's just too much power in the hands of like oil companies. They just do whatever the hell they want. I mean,
big tech. I think big tech's a bigger problem than Chevron.
Well,
I
big
see
tech's coming in
I
now.
see
Big tech's
oil
coming now.
as the old guard of they had too much power. In the
True, yeah,
90s,
yeah.
2000s, even maybe 2010s, like
No, Elon Musk
they're
really-
declining sharply.
declining.
I mean,
They are declining.
oil's days are numbered, and they're all looking for how do we parlay our huge wealth into actual businesses that are going to be part of the 21st century because they're dying. I mean, in terms of, I know petroleum engineer friends. They're like sisters and brothers to the chemical engineers, and I
Yeah.
know a bunch of people who actually ended up going and working in industry, and like they're like, we've got enough petroleum engineers. Like there shouldn't be too many more of us before.
Even cars isn't like cars too like I've heard because the auto industry's had a couple of bailouts in the last 10, 20 years. They've had a couple of bailouts. And then I remember years ago, Uber was talking about how Uber, I just heard analysts talking about how Uber could just buy GM. Like they were talking about as soon as this self-driving cars hit, Uber is gonna just buy one of the cars. Like they're more powerful maybe, or they have more money. or they have
tech is ruling the world right now. Like tech rules the world.
Uber is
and now
that
they're
big
too
tech.
powerful. And it's like Google, Amazon, all these guys. They can go create some military drone, and nobody's gonna say anything about it. And look, you better believe that if you're a journalist and you go after YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, whatever, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it the same way Steve Donziger got it. It's like these companies don't change; they're the same.
Donziger, I can't believe it. Well,
This
it
guy's
is like those
this
two,
guy's a national treasure and a hero, and he's been completely
Amazing.
vilified. It's terrible.
It is like those two Canadians that are in jail in China, solitary confinement, dude. They're going crazy over there, just because we put their CEO in jail. The CEO of Huawei is in jail in Canada, so they just picked up two Michaels who happen to be doing business in China. They've been in jail for years, dude, because they're like, "Fuck you, release our girl." We just don't like. it has been 30, 40 years of like slowly selling everything out to whoever has the most money. And now we will suffer for it.
Yeah.
That's why I push the
this
lefty
is-
shit, because they do need to do something. But I mean, yeah, no one out there is doing it. They're too corporate.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought it's a great story. I'm going to be covering it soon.
Yeah, dude.
Steve Donziger versus Chevron. The battle for the ages. It's going to be epic.
That's going to be big, man. That's going to be great.
All right.
Dude, music video is great, dude. Let's wrap it up.
Gonna rip you off, take you down.